Excellent. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm in hibernation, quarantine here in Sydney, and so I'll do my best to communicate in this strange world that we're in now, where you can sort of see me and I can see you. I hope that's all working well. So here's 7 ways to improve your business cash flow. I'm going to work on the basis that you can see and hear me, and if that's not the case, I hope somebody will phone me up. So obviously, cash flow is the heart of any business. And right now, more important than ever, with the changing economy, that you know exactly where you are. So I just wanted to share this. You know, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. No matter how carefully a project is planned, something may still go wrong with it. The saying's adapted from a line to a mouse by Robert Burns, the best laid schemes of mice and men. And I think that's where we find ourselves today. Now, at Kelly Partners, we believe in a structured way of moving forward in life and business. And the reason we believe that is we know that a lot of what people consider as black swan events are actually just swans that went for a swim in a lake. And in most lakes, there's mud, and so they come up brown. They're not actually black swans. They're actually beautifully white swans with a little bit of mud on them. So right now, we've got a brown swan event. We've got a pandemic that happened before. It's not the first time. We might not be able to remember the last time, but we do know that it's happened. So at Kelly Partners, we built systems and processes to help make things predictable in an unpredictable time. So let's get through these 7 things. Very, very simply, most people don't have a pro forma profit and loss. And what that means is a very clear understanding of what their profit and loss should look like if everything was going well. So grab your profit and loss, put it in your Excel, put dollars, percentages, and days, and come up with what you think they are meant to be. If $1 goes in your revenue, what goes out in your cost of sales, what goes out in each of your overhead lines, and what's your operating profit. If you don't have an ideal in mind that you're focusing on, you definitely can't achieve it. And so it's very important to start with an ideal profit and loss statement. Now, I know at the moment it won't be ideal, but in each industry, there is an ideal situation with your profit and loss, and it's very clear. It's very important in my mind that that's clear in your mind. Once you've got that, build a great forecast. Now, I sort of with trepidation think that I could switch over and see if I can pick up that document that I've got on my desktop, but I'm not that confident. So just bear with me, and I'll just explain that a great forecast can show you exactly what your cash position is at any day. Now, I feel like I could take the risk and see if I can find it for you. Let me see. Yep, here it is. So this is the example, a P&L cash flow forecast. If you don't have something that looks as amazing as this, then be in touch. You know, essentially, if you know exactly what your forecast should look like just here, then you can work out your benchmark percentages. It'll show your profit on $1 million, or say $1. You can see exactly what should happen to that. So say $100, you can see that moving. And then let's say your business does $1 million in revenues. I can go over here and say to you today, let's say that we get a minus 20% impact on your revenue. What's actually going to happen? So hopefully everyone saw that down here you're at $70,000 profit, but if you get a minus 20% impact on your business, you're going to have a situation where the profitability is affected. Now, importantly, down here, you know, we would work out what your opening cash position is and what debt repayments you have, and then what might happen with your debtor days. I would expect at the moment your debtor days might double. And what you can see here is that if you get a 20% reduction in your revenues and a 30-day increase in your debtor days, then your net cash is going to be negative. You're going to run out of money. If that gets worse and it's 60 days, you can see here you'll run out of money quite quickly. If you get a 30% decrease in your cash flow, it's going to get worse. Now, I'm just relying on the tech and hoping that you can see that, but what I'm trying to demonstrate is that most people have never seen a great forecast, and almost 99% of the more than 20,000 businesses I've been in over the last 27 years don't have a forecast at all, let alone a great one. If you don't have one, you're going to run out of cash, you're going to die, and that's not great. This is not good for Australia if businesses are not forecasting well. Number 3, go and look then at your largest items first. So we would go in and we would look at your expense items. We'd look from biggest to smallest. We would make columns of what is essential and what is optional. We'd try to remove everything that's optional that just doesn't turn the dial right now. And we would then look to negotiate on commodities that you have that are major, things like your phone bills and those sorts of things. Make sure that you understand exactly what your biggest to smallest expenses are and how much it costs to run your business each day, each week, and each month. And then I want to talk to you about terms. This is your business. So I want you to evaluate your terms of business. Right now, a lot of people are struggling. Make sure that you know more about how you're going to get paid than what you're going to get paid. Most people focus on price. They don't focus on terms. They should focus on terms as much, and at the moment, even more than they focus on price. You see, if somebody gives you a deal, you think, oh, the price is great that the client's willing to pay, but they don't pay you. And fundamentally, you've given the work or the product away for nothing. And so make sure you secure your cash, get 25% or 50% up front. There's only one bad thing that can happen, and that is you go out of business. And the number one way you're going to go out of business is if somebody that you've done business with doesn't actually pay you. So evaluate your terms and add a cash up front component. Now, most people don't have a huge amount of discipline when it comes to getting paid. And what I mean by that, I'm publishing an article and I'm giving to Dale this afternoon to share with you. What I mean by that is they actually haven't developed a way of working out how they're going to get paid. So you've worked out you're going to get paid up front. That's great. But now how are you going to enforce that? Start with an upfront payment, 25% or 50%, and then work out how many days you're going to allow somebody to take to pay you. Say it's 7 days. You need to know that you will phone that creditor on the 8th day and ask them, hey, did you pay me yesterday? I haven't seen the money. Have I missed it? Can I get paid, please? And you must make sure that you then understand what happens next if they don't pay you. Make sure on the 8th day you get payment or you get part payment. Go and see them face to face. Don't hold back, because if you don't get paid, you're going to get put out of business. What I see very often is people just wait. They go, oh, yeah, they'll pay. They're good guys. Mate, a lot of people are good people, but that doesn't mean that they don't have financial stress. And their financial stress, that'll be transmitted to you if you don't have real discipline about when you get paid, how you get paid, and when you get paid on completion. What I like to do is I like to not deliver the final product until I get paid. So I'll deliver the tax return. I'll say, there it is, it's all finished, great. When you pay us, we will lodge that tax return. I've done this since the very first day I started because I knew that I just couldn't afford for somebody not to pay me. So the discipline of your payment process is going to be related to your own self-discipline and that of your team. You must make very clear that this has to happen with massive discipline. And on that note, if you don't ultimately do this, so you must make sure that you've got legal practitioners who can support you to collect your money as soon as this thing gets a little bit out of shape. But if you get 25 or 50% up front, and then you progress bill halfway through your job, you should only have about 25% left when the final product is being delivered. And so that's very much reduced your risk of going out of business. The sixth thing I want you to do, I want to spend a little bit of time on this, is I want you to segment your customers and suppliers. So understand who your best customers are. They are not just people that pay the right price, but they are people that pay on time and in some cases pay fast. Spend 90% of your time on your 10% best customers. They talk about the 80-20 principle. I believe in the 90-10 principle. Segment your customers. Look for your top 10% of customers. They're probably 90% of your profit. Overwhelmingly focus on these people. Get rid of the bottom 20% of your customer. Any person that's paid you slow in the past, get rid of them, because in this climate, they probably won't pay you at all. And finally, look at your suppliers and make sure that you understand who your critical best suppliers are, and you make sure you pay them on time. You see, you're likely to get what you give. If you're a fast payer, you'll probably get paid fast. If you're a slow payer, you'll probably get paid slow. And so you need to look after your best suppliers. Go with your other suppliers and negotiate terms. so that you can either not do things that you don't need to do anymore, or you can pay those people maybe slightly slower than you paid in the past. And then number 7, I think overwhelmingly, this is absolutely critical. This is some of our team at Kelly Partners. This has got to be an all-person responsibility. Every single person in your company needs to understand how critical it is that you guys are collecting your cash and that you're collecting it on time. Because if you don't actually make that happen, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a situation quite quickly where somebody's going to just not collect your money, and they're going to say to you, oh, securing the cash in your business is everyone's job. If people are not aligned to collecting the money for the business, then make sure that you don't have them in your business, because you won't ultimately be able to pay them. And they won't be very pleased when that happens. And so explain to your people, hey, you get paid every 30 days. I need to make sure we get paid faster than I have to pay you. So if I have to pay you every 30 days, I want to collect my money faster than 30 days. You must personalize the message. You must make sure that your people personally feel how important it is to get paid. I make it very clear. I've always said, listen, if our customers don't pay the business, then I will not be able to pay you. So if you want to get paid, you need to help me with that exercise. Now, I want to share with you that on our website, we've put an all government stimulus message live updated stream, and I've given to Dale these 2 checklists. At the moment, there is an opportunity, but you notice that this is not in my 7 steps, because the 7 steps are things that you can control right now today, whereas the government stimulus is a handout that may come and go and change over time. But the good news is it's there at the moment. So please go and look at these checklists, and let's have a look together at what opportunities there are and what stimulus measures, in fact, there are in the market right now. Now, the government has come out and said that they'll do a number of things for businesses. They will give you relief around your payroll tax at a state level. If you've got less than 10 million as a payroll tax bill, then they're going to give you some payroll tax relief. On the business side, the banks have a $250,000 loan facility that if you're in good standing and you've been a well-run business in the past, then if you make an application to them, they've got $40 billion that the government's made available to the banks to administer small business loans. There's also up to $100,000 PAYG relief that the government is trying to put through the tax system. There's very, very significant and comprehensive benefits that are being made available by the government. I'll try and share those in a moment. But if you go to the kellypartners.com.au website, you will find this updated web page every day that you can go and check. Now, everybody's individual circumstance is different, and so it's important that you go, get the checklist, look at them, and pay attention. These will be very significant inputs to your cash position. The other things that I want to talk about is you need to know that at this time, you'll work out who your friends are, how good your team is. I'm just somebody that believes a team can do a lot more than an individual. So if you're looking at yourself, that's great. You need to grow yourself and focus as a leader yourself to make a difference. And then you need to bring that positive mentality to your team. First, you need to find out if you've got a decent accounting team internally and decent support externally, and make sure that you partner with these people to know that the steps that I've outlined are absolutely mastered. They need to be absolutely hammered. You need to have an up-to-date daily cash flow situation report in your business. If you're not 100% confident in the steps that I've outlined, you need help right now. If you get in front of the game, you're okay. If you let this roll on, its time is absolutely of the essence here. Now, everyone's heard the saying, time is money. Never is that more true than in a crisis. Time is money. I hear a lot at the moment people saying cash is king. Well, yeah, sure, cash is king. But if there's anyone above a king, let's say an emperor, then the person and the thing that sits above the king at this time is time. Time is the thing you can't get more of. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. And it is getting on top of this early that is going to make the most difference for you and your business. let me emphasize again, it's time that is the most important thing in life. You know, my favorite saying is time is limited, death is certain. And right now, death is certain if you don't use your time to get on top of your cash position. Secondly, we will proactively work with the ATO and our bank and your bank to assist you. These are your other partners in your business. The ATO will and can do, is empowered to do a lot for you at the moment. You need an expert team to help you with that. You need to make sure your bank's helping you. And finally, you've got to know your own personal financial position. You see, you need to have your head right when you wake up in the morning. And so the foundation of that is knowing that your personal financial position is sorted out. And if it's not, what we can do to help you to get it sorted out. Because if you're looking over your shoulder and you're a bit of a mess about your personal financial position, you know, it's a growing leader, it's an organized leader, it's a focused leader that drives a business to be organized, to be focused. And if you as a leader are not organized in your personal financial life, then it's certainly going to cause problems in your business. So what I want to see you do is I want you to stay aligned and be committed to each other. That's your people internally, your clients, your communities, and your external service providers like your accountants and your lawyers. Get a team. You see, the bigger the team, the more aligned, well-trained, and pushing in the same direction your team is. That's actually what's going to make a difference at this time. You can't lift this world yourself. No one person's going to cure the coronavirus, the C virus, the China virus. No one's going to actually cure that problem. It's going to be a team effort, as life is. And so getting aligned and being committed to each other is going to be absolutely critical. I've shared with my team this line, survive. That's the first thing. I played a lot of cricket. You know, in cricket, what I love about cricket is if you get out, if you're batting, you could have to wait another 2 weeks, 4 weeks, might rain the next week when you're going to bat again. You're going to wait a long time to get another chance to bat again. And so if you get out in business or in cricket or in life, you can't score runs. You can't make money if you go broke. So your number one priority as a leader in these times is to make sure your business survives. That's the number one priority. And then from there, I know that it's the people that survive that are going to thrive. This dislocation, this massive disruption, this huge change that this virus is doing to our world, it's going to mean that the people that can survive are going to thrive if they have changed their mindset and done the things necessary to survive. So look, my name's Brett Kelly. I'm the founder and CEO of Kelly Partners Chartered Accountants. We've got 15 offices in New South Wales and Victoria. We're available digitally. I'm very digital, not really, but we're working at it. Certainly my team are more than me. And I'd love to hear from anyone that actually wants help today. The reality is that you have a very limited amount of time to get on top of your financial position. Most people that I've met that have ever gone broke have said, I wish I'd acted sooner. You know, there's only one filthy emotion in life, and that emotion is regret. Not having taken action when you should have, not having, asked that girl out or that guy out, or not having written that book you planned to write, or not having taken that shot that you planned to take. It's that emotion of regret that is going to be the thing that most impacts the long-term quality of your life. You know, to end up bitter and sad about the things that you know that you should have done, but you didn't do, is not the way I want to end up, and it's not the way I want anyone else to end up. So I'm urging you today to understand that death is certain and that time is limited. And so act now and move hard to take the actions that, even if they're hard, you know in your heart of hearts are the right thing to do. You see, as a leader, your people and your clients and your community will respect you for standing for something, and that thing being the right thing. Doing the right thing is hard. And at these times, I'd encourage you to get a team around you that have the gumption to help you walk that journey. Now, I've provided to Grant a little book called Your Money, Your Choice that I wrote in 2006 to help our accountants internally think about how to help clients. It's how to get your personal and business finances sorted out. We've provided 2 checklists with all the government incentives summarized. and I'm sending you an article with more detail about what I've shared today. I hope this helps. You know, we've built our business knowing that if we help people, that things tend to go okay. So my effort today, and I really want to call out Dale and his team for the superb job that they've done in pulling today together, because it is in helping other people that is all the meaning and joy of life. And so it's been a great pleasure to be able to share this with you today, and I hope it's made a difference. And as I like to say, have a great day.